What's good, y'all? Took like 30 fucking minutes to get this set up, but I finally got this shit hooked all the way up. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. Feliz Navidad. If you don't celebrate Christmas, again, happy holidays. I'm eating this chicken. Yes, that's kind of a stereotype all black people have, but while I'm eating this chicken, I want to talk about something that has been on my mind that I should have done a video about a while back, but I kind of forgot. So one of the things, and I'm gonna eat, by the way. One of the things that people need to start getting used to is being alone all the time, or in this case, being single. Now, being single is not as bad as people say it is. You have the pros and the cons. I say a pro is you don't have to deal with the bitch's shit. You don't have to answer to nobody. You don't have to buy somebody's shit, unless it's your family for like a special occasion like Christmas, or buying a nigga, some shit to help them out, or just helping out niggas. If you single, or if you live alone, you really don't have to help really much people at all, except yourself. And one thing that people around my age aren't really used to is surviving on your own and not depending on a bitch. There's a difference between depending on somebody and being reliable towards somebody. And one of the things for my generation is a lot of us just really can't do shit on our own. There's some of us that are capable of these things because we've been used to it already before we moved out. But as far as like actually living alone with no woman, a lot of people can't handle that shit. And so with me, I'm in a predicament where I really don't need a woman. And I realized this a while back because I'm just used to doing stuff like by myself. As sad as it is to say, I've never had a girl like interested in me for I would even say a month on end. I've never had a girl pursue any interest in me because, let's face it, women really don't know how to be upfront, especially with me, because you could give somebody all the attention in the world, but unless they actually like you and they're not in their feelings all the time, you really don't get anywhere with women. But as far as living with one, I don't think I'm really capable of living with one. Just based off the fact that in a living condition, living with a woman, I can't do that shit. I can't wake up to a bitch who had a dream, start fighting my ass for no fucking reason. I can't handle a bitch who can't sleep at night, watches TV loud as fuck. I can't handle a bitch who can't pick up after themselves. And that's another thing. Women, I'm talking to y'all. Whoever told men this needs to really apologize. because y'all aren't clean. Whoever said girls are clean owes every man, or every boy I should say, growing up, an apology. Because women are clean, they're dirty. They just want to put the whole I'm neat, I smell nice, and I like certain stuff in a certain order just to cover that shit up. But in all actuality, you bitches aren't fucking clean. And it's fucking true. Because, let me put some light in here. Because you bitches are all dirty as fuck. Don't pick up after your damn self. Clothes everywhere and shit. Dirty ass bra on the fucking chair. On the fucking nightstand and shit. It's like, whoever said women are clean is a giant liar. Or a giant liar. Yeah, I'm gonna save a big piece for y'all. Because let's face it, you guys cover up being clean, but you guys aren't clean at home. Like, that's like saying I'm a magician and I know every magic trick, but I only have 2. You know. But let's take the whole living condition out of the equation. Let's actually take being in a relationship with a woman. Now, this is the part of the video where it may get confusing, because talking about relationships with females, or women I should say, is something that, you know, not all niggas could have. You know, not every nigga born in this world that's a nigga can get a woman. You know, people have to realize that a lot of women have standards that are beyond any man's measurement or any man's capability, I should say. When you're just an average person like me, and you're just average looking at best, and you're not like the best looking guy, women will start raising their standards or start adding more to their list of standards. So, like I said in my other videos, it's all about looks. But enough with the looks part. Let's go back to the relationship. So in a relationship, you have to cater to this woman. You have to comfort her at all times. If she's not feeling you for one day, you gotta let her just be. And then you never know who the fuck she's talking to when y'all aren't in the same room. You gotta fucking buy her expensive shit, specifically what she wants. And then you have to act like you actually care for this woman. Now, if you actually do care for this woman and she doesn't give a fuck about you, but she did at first, that in itself, my friend, is called... Damn, bro, that's like... That in itself, my friend, is called female nature. And female nature is the reason why I'm not in a relationship. Because one day a bitch could be into me, but then tomorrow she could like Chad or whatever, or Pookie or Ray Ray, or some light skinned nigga. And so with women, you gotta just like, it's like walking on thin ice, you know. You gotta tread lightly with women. And one thing for for me is like, I haven't even dated a bitch, and I already know basically most of the ins and outs of how a bitch works and how women think, because women are not really that, like, they're not really hard to study, or let me reword that. They're not really hard to get as far as like, their actions and their emotions and shit. Because let's face it, women, and this is actually a thing, women run off of emotion, not logic. If I was a woman instead of a man, all of my YouTube videos would be talking from a perspective of somebody who was emotional. But since I'm not a woman, and I've just had bad experiences with women, and I'm giving the perspective of somebody who is telling others to watch out. This is a perspective of a guy, and you can't always like depend on women for, I'd say, pretty much anything, except I guess sex. Other than that, if she like, shit, what's the word? If she's your go-to for like responsibility, like can't like paying your bills and shit, even with that, that's something that is in her control and not yours. So even with just that, you still can't trust the bitch. It doesn't matter what predicament you're in. You could be a rich nigga, especially if you're a rich nigga. Women will gravitate towards you like crazy. The only bad thing is, because they see you as a rich man, they will start to play you. Yes, they will take you seriously, but because you're somebody of high status, they'll start to feel a certain way towards you, to where, like, if she comes on to you, she's gonna want to rush things. Notice how women, whenever they're with like rich men, the way they act towards them, it's all rushing into things. Instead of a poor man, or a man who's just average financially, usually women, they don't want to go forward, or they don't want to move too quickly, as I should say. It's like 1, 2, 3, all 2, 3 bases, basically. And I can't fathom on living with a woman. I just can't, like, or being in a relationship with one. Because if I can't even get a woman to talk to me, just having a decent conversation about anything, really, what makes you think I'm actually gonna be in a relationship? Women are very picky, and if you're not the type that they're looking for, if you don't dress a certain type, if you don't look a certain type of way, if you don't act a certain type of way, if you don't have the right personality, they will write you the fuck off. And even though the majority of everybody nowadays is in a relationship or even married, it shows you that, yes, women are most likely finding or trying to find a significant other, but there's still a small majority of men who who put themselves out there, who just haven't had the right exposure, or who haven't had the best experiences, you know. Kind of think of it as this: if you've made multiple attempts at scoring a goal, and you only score a very, let's say, like a 16% chance, but you've made more than, I want to say, 30 attempts, then you have roughly about, I want to say, a slightly above 10% chance of actually getting that shit. Around that, I don't know. I'm just kind of making shit up as I'm talking. When it comes to math, like, I know somewhere along the line, y'all know what I'm trying to, y'all know where I'm coming at. But fuck statistically, let's talk about in reality. In reality, though, like, yes, more women are trying to go for guys, but there's still a very high percentage of men who just haven't had the best of luck, and so because of that, they really don't date, or they don't really pursue women. Because if you're awkward like I've been in the past, and still to a degree, I'm still awkward with women because I don't interact with them, first of all. So, and if you're also the type of person who doesn't really go out much, it could be very hard. It can be very hard. But as I see people, like some of my closest friends, in relationships, and even to a degree of getting married, there comes to a point in time where, like, you're gonna want to get off social media, and you're gonna want to just stop talking to people, and you're gonna want to just be in your own lane for a while until you feel more comfortable of doing that. Because let's say, for example, let's just say I know somebody who has a girlfriend, or is getting married, or is just starting to be in a relationship. Now, I'm the type of person where if something happens to either one of my friends or whatever, and they tell me, I'll be happy for them. I'll congratulate them, like, hey man, see where it goes, like. But what really bothers me, or not bothers me, but it kind of annoys me, is if, let's say, we have a conversation, and you start bringing up your girl, like, all the time. To me, that'll just start getting annoying and very repetitive, because here we are playing either video games, or we're in the middle of a conversation, and you bring up your girl. Like, remind you, if you bring up your girl once in a while, I'm cool with that. I'm fine. I have no issue. But if you bring her up every time we're talking, even about just the simplest things, or you just start bringing up girls all the time, to me, that shit is kind of annoying. So that's something, like, and again, it's not like my friends necessarily, like, in my life currently, but it was just a while back where it came to a point in time where every conversation we fucking had was about your girl. And it's like, dude, I get that you're happy, and I get that you like somebody a lot, but look at me, like, you know, I have nobody. Do you really think I would give a fuck? You know? And that may come across as like arrogant, but like, let's face it, if you were to hear somebody talk about their significant other for like a long ass time, would you really care? And I'm not saying once in a while, I'm talking about like every time y'all talk. Would you give a fuck? Exactly. Like, and so, like I said, I'm fine with it once in a while, but it's just like, as if you just bring it up all the time, like it just starts getting annoying. Like, you know. Now, I also don't really like people who openly talk about their relationship all the time, or who are openly discussing what they do like all the time. I'm talking about to each other and all that shit. And you know, there's certain people that I've even talked to where all they like, if we're having a conversation and they just all of a sudden bring up their significant other, you know, in the back of my head I have to tell myself like, if we talk again, will he bring up this shit again? And so that's why, like, some of the people, damn nigga, put on your fucking headlights, Jesus. Niggas driving out here blind. Dumbass bitch. I was literally about to back my fucking shit up. Damn, 12. Who the fuck are you chasing on the highway? But enough of that. 12 is always fucking shit up. But yeah, it's just annoying to me when somebody always brings up their girl, or somebody brings up their relationship every time. And again, I'm not saying it's bad to bring up your girl or whatever, but once in a while I'm cool with it, you know, because at the end of the day, let's not even talk about me, let's talk about other people. Like, not every nigga is in a relationship, not everybody has a girl, you know, so most of the time you gotta think of it as niggas can't relate, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to go home, y'all. I've been here for like almost an hour. Yeah, niggas can't really relate. Like let's say I was in like or even a movie, for example. Let's say I saw a movie and I was talking about it to my friend who hasn't seen it yet. You know, for me, that's probably not the best thing to do because my friend hasn't seen the movie. So what really is the point of me talking about it? What's the point of me spoiling it to him? Especially if, you know, if he's the type of person that really wanted to see this movie. What's the point of me spoiling about it? You know, man, that's just something like I just had to give my statement on, you know. But it's just, you know, it's, you know, it's real out, you know it's hard out here when you have couples walking around and shit, and they sort of look down on people, and they sort of, just by how they look at you, they're like, how is this guy walking by himself? He don't got no girl. So that's tough. You know, it's hard out here for others. Because not everybody's gonna be in a relationship. Not everybody is gonna have a significant other. Some people wait, I'd say even years, just to get a single piece of fucking ass. Because every girl is different. Not all girls are the same. Like what Juice WRLD said. Most girls are fucking different as fuck. And you just gotta. In some predicaments, you just gotta play your cards right and get lucky. But that's not always the case. But I do know for a fact, the older I get, the more women will like throw themselves at me. Because if y'all know how like women in their 30s act, they're very flirtatious, they're very horny, and they're very immature. Because they know that's when their time is up. So then they could just have kids already or be married. And so for me, as a nigga who was rejected for a long ass time, it's kind of something like when women throw themselves at me in the near future, because I know damn sure that'll happen without a shadow of a doubt. For me, it just gets old after a while. Like, because I was once a guy who got rejected like a lot of times. Like, for women to start now coming at me, it's like it's already kind of too late for me to actually care. Like, that's the equivalent of, let's say you wanted to try out for a basketball team and they rejected you, but year after year you got better at your own court, at the YMCA, at the court, at your nearest park. You trained a lot, you ate a lot, and then you practice your jump shots and all that. You basically went above and beyond to prove everybody wrong. But then, about a couple years pass, and the coach of the basketball team, they all of a sudden want you. They all of a sudden want you on their team. They all of a sudden want you to start practicing for the school, and they're impressed by you. That you train, that you basically bulked up, as in change your diet and all that. Your height changed, all of that shit. But then once the coach says all of these things, you yourself, you start to realize, like, you were the same motherfucker that rejected me. So why the fuck after all these years would I want you? Like, after years of getting rejected, and now you come back, and now you want me now. Why would I give a fuck? And this is how I feel about women. Because if they've been rejecting me for years, if women don't even see me as somebody that's even attractive, now all of a sudden I change my look, I change my diet, I grow out my facial hair. Women all of a sudden now gravitate towards me. It's like, why should I give a fuck? If these same, if women in general, like, fucking wrote me off for years. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And again, women, they could lie all they want. They could talk the biggest shit all they want. with me, I'm not trying to fucking deal with really women at all. And so once they see a nigga in his own path, they want to come in and fuck that shit the fuck up. And so that's why I can't be in a relationship, because I know how most women work, you know. They would really just want me for my money, and that's pretty much it, and play with my emotions. And so it's been a long ass video. I appreciate those who stick by. Uh, I might have like a movie review because I just saw No Way Home. And I want to talk about that shit in my next video. So stay tuned, and thanks y'all for watching. Peace.